try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, your check as I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain that's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just hold an obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression, You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race, life is a chase. I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft, you can change lives, you create thoughts, never waste time. You got one shot, you got one life, better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss, just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, your check as I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain that's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just hold an obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression.
What up, what up, what up, Finn fans? Welcome to another episode of the Finn Posse Podcast. I'm your host, Big C, and this is brought to you by Game Changers Media. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Sorry I'm running a little late. I switched out my thumbnail a bunch of times. Obviously, I wanted to talk about OTAs, but there were some other things that I felt maybe should dictate the thumbnail this morning. But anyway, I ended up rushing to just get one done, and here we are. Again, so I apologize for being late. Hectic morning. But how is everybody doing out there? Make sure you hit that like button when you come in the door. I appreciate every single one of you. The only way we can grow, though, is to hit the like button, to hit that algorithm, however they do it, the YouTube universe. And, you know, I want us to become one of the bigger followings on YouTube. You know what I mean? You got the big dogs, you got Doug, you got TD, you got Reason. I want us to be recognized, us as a group, and that includes every single one of you. This is not, I say it over and over again, and it's not just my show. This is your guys' show too. This gives you guys an opportunity to get stuff off your chest just as much as it is mine. I understand that other shows you can call in. Obviously, get Glenn. Good morning, Glenn. Glenn's got a great relationship with a bunch of the podcasters, and he gets his time to shine on their shows. And I want each and every one of you to get an opportunity. If you got something on your chest, if you feel so passionately about these Miami Dolphins like I do, and you wanna speak on it, I want to give you that opportunity. So let's continue to grow together, but it takes you guys hitting them like buttons. And I know it's a pain in the butt. I do. What up, Miller? Good morning. I'm doing all right, Glenn. You know, I bought my ticket to the Dolphins Bills game, which I'm kind of regretting. I'm regretting that shit. It's not that I don't think we have a chance to win, because I think we go to Buffalo and beat the Buffalo Bills. Just if we don't, it is a horrible experience that I spent $500 on. And I'll end up spending way more money than that. You know what I mean? And it's nothing like if things go bad for us that night against Buffalo in Buffalo on primetime, you're surrounded by 70,000 Buffalo fans. You know what I mean? Laughing in your face. And me, I don't do well with that. You know what I mean? I don't do well with you talking shit to me when my team's down and out. You know what I mean? So I'm worried about how I'm going to react. I'm worried about how I'm going to react. How much were they? I'm interested in joining you. Miller, I think they're sold out, but you can get tickets to the game. You can go to the before party, the after party. You get tickets way cheaper. So, I mean, you could go the whole time with us. I mean, you want to be seated with us, but I mean, you can still go and be a part of the night before the tailgate party. We'd all walk in together. I mean, you'd just be seated different unless more tickets become available. I spent, the ticket was $450 plus 13 something taxes or something. I don't know. But I'll probably go up the night before. I could probably stay at some of my relatives up there, but I don't want to just call them to be like, hey, can I crash at your crib? I'm going to a football game tomorrow. You know what I mean? I hate to feel like I'm using people for anything. Suicide hotline, to coin a phrase from Vegas Vacation, should have gave me half of the ticket money. We can go out back. I will kick you in the nuts and we can call it a day. Good one. You can always say one thing as the Bills fan when they won a Super Bowl. Glenn, I don't know if you've ever been to Buffalo Stadium, Highmark, what other name? Rich Stadium, Ralph Wilson Stadium. Them Buffalo fans aren't very nice. They aren't very nice. They are assholes. Like when they are assholes, and I'm telling you, they will jump you. You know, you see, oh, Buffalo donates to this charity. Buffalo donates to that charity. They are dickheads. They will jump you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If Miami wins, oh my God. Listen, you'd want to be happy for your team, but if you show that type of excitement around 70,000 drunk Buffalo Bills fans, you're not walking out the stadium. I swear to God, it's like that. I don't think they are going to Miami, Miller. They hinted at something, maybe doing something. They've only named one event, but I asked TD personally. I said, you guys ain't coming to Miami this year? Because I was going to go to that game because I've never been to Miami Stadium. And he's like, no. Maybe he was just trying to get me to buy a ticket to the Bills one. Who knows? But I don't know. John Blue says, just don't go to Buffalo, laugh aloud. I don't want to follow a fellow Fin fan to be disappointed again. Yeah, TD asked me to come personally through text message. So I wanted to, you know, I didn't want him to be alone. But at the same time, I don't know if TD going to be rocking Finn's gear. You know what I mean? I don't know if TD going to be down with me. Because I went to this Bills-Jets game, right, at Meadowlands Stadium last year when they had their event up there. And at MetLife, my fault. It's not the Meadowlands. MetLife, at MetLife. And I show up in Dolphins gear, right? And I'm walking through the whole parking lot, MetLife Stadium parking lot, surrounded by nothing but Jets and Bills fans. Jets and Bills fans. I'm walking through with Dolphins gear on. People yelling, I get over the TD. He all in just straight black, wearing nothing. He ain't wearing no Dolphins colors whatsoever. Just Round Table Sports. Round Table Sports. Not a Dolphin hat, not a Dolphin necklace, not a Dolphin nothing. So I don't know if he going to be wearing Dolphins gear. Yeah, JD did great. I seen that you're going to be there. Are you flying up, JD? JD, you living on Miami? Especially since it's going to be the last season at the old stadium. Be careful, we win. You got to go DEFCON 5. Yeah. What day are you flying in, JD? Because they're all staying at an Airbnb. They're all staying at Airbnb. Do you already got your hotel and stuff picked out? I found the hotel that the Dolphins stay at, but it's sold out. And bro, it's $718 a night. I was like, yeah, right. I guess they stay at the Westin up here. It's called the Westin in downtown Buffalo. But it's sold out. It's sold out Thursday night. I think they had rooms Wednesday night, but it was $700, $800 a night. I was like, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. That's what I said. Buddy of mine's going too. What hotel you staying at, JD? Maybe I'll get one at that hotel too. I'll have my vehicle and stuff. So if you're going to the nighttime stuff, maybe we could take my car. We can ride over together or something. Or we could Uber if we're gonna drink. I don't know. Miller, you can get cheap tickets. You can get cheap tickets to the Bills game. And is there really a horrible seat in the house? You know what I mean? All right, JD. There are 3 different hotels teams stay at in Buffalo. I heard the Dolphins stay at the Westin. I told TD to ask Omar where they stay at. They got a Hampton that's right by the Westin. They got a Hampton Inn that's affordable right by the Westin. Shit, I'll go sit in the lobby of the Westin and wait for them to come through. I'll go sit in the lobby and wait for them to come through and jump up and, yo, Jalen. I say Jalen, 5 different people look over. But yesterday was day 2 of OTAs. And I got to admit, the most promising thing that I seen yesterday, the most promising thing that came out of Miami yesterday, in my opinion, was the progression of Jalen Phillips. The progression of Jalen Phillips. I didn't think he was going to be ready for week 1. The way that he was moving yesterday and the day before leads me to believe that week 1, we're going to be full go with our pass rushers. And I think that's huge for Miami Dolphins. I think it's huge for the secondary. And I'm very, very excited about that. Very, very excited about that. John Blue says, just stay at your family's house. I guarantee if you buy a pack of ribs and chicken to barbecue, they'll invite you in with open arms. Yeah, my cousin Boomer, he literally stays 10 minutes in North Boston away from the stadium. I used to go up there and drink all the time. Every summer I'd go up for a couple days and we'd drink and he'd cook me food and we'd have a good time. We've kind of we've kind of fell off the last few years for whatever reason, and I haven't really talked to him too much. So I hate to just call him out the blue and be like, hey, you know what I mean? My uncle lives up there, a couple of my other cousins too, but again, I don't talk to them on the regular, so I don't want to be the one time I talk to you. Can I stay at your house? You know what I mean? Yeah, it probably is safer in numbers. Well, I mean, he said he's going to try to get more. He's going to try to get more seats. And yes, smoke is legal up here. And you don't got to worry about traveling with it because I have a lot of it. I don't personally smoke, but I have quite a bit of it. That is what family is for. Maybe. I heard Waddle had a good day. It's almost as if we heard you yesterday and is trying to prove you wrong. Laugh out loud. Yes, Bonnie, I was just going to get to that. Waddle is the worst wide receiver in history. He is the worst wide receiver Miami Dolphins have ever had. Let's see what he does now. maybe he just goes nuclear. Maybe he just goes nuclear now. But, you know, Bonnie, there's two ways to look at that. There's the way you want to look at it, the cup half full. Jalen Waddle had a great day yesterday. Caught a 60-yard bomb on Cam Smith from Tua. Looked absolutely phenomenal yesterday. But is that because Jalen Waddle's so good, or is it because our corners are just that bad? Is it just because our corners are that bad? No, I think it's a mixture. Because I think Jalen Waddle's super talented. I think Jalen Waddle is a good wide receiver. I don't think he's a great wide receiver, but I think he's a very good wide receiver. But it does concern me. The secondary concerns me. It really does. It really does. And then, of course, Cam Smith injured again. Can't get out of his own way. Good morning, Crazy Dolphin. How you doing? Can't get out of his own way. I mean, if they plan on Cam Smith playing any integral part for this defense this year, you might as well give up on that. Because it's not realistic. This guy is never going to become anything. Let's be real. He had the perfect opportunity to come out and show that, you know, this offseason. How many months ago did we release? What's his face? Oh man, what's his name now? Our other starting corner there. What's his name? I can't believe I'm going blank on it. I see his face. The guy that we got from Washington. Fuller. There you go. Thank you, Elwood. Sometimes being on a podcast and doing this live, you got so much information in your head that you try to get out that you forget and your brain goes numb to so many simple things. But yeah, Fuller, how many months ago did we release Fuller? Cam Smith knew this was going to be a perfect opportunity for him to step in and steal that position. Yet you still come in not in shape, still that injury prone guy that can't get over the nightlife, falling asleep in practices. I just don't think he's going to change. And I just don't think he takes care of his body properly. I don't think he's ever going to amount to anything for the Miami Dolphins, and it's sad. Greer's awful at cornerbacks. I mean, he found Cater. He's responsible for X, right? Was he responsible for X? Crazy Dolphin says, I think Cam Smith and Channing Tindall are in the same boat. Time to move off that. I agree. If Channing Tindall can't get it right by now, I mean, it's not an athletic thing with Channing Tindall. He's a phenomenal athlete. But if you can't get it right on the field, like at this point, it's time to move on. Tindall should have left years ago, just like Eazy-E's still on the team, I think. What do you mean moved off of Eazy-E? Eazy-E's still on the team, I think. If he's not, this is the first year he's not. To me, X was lackluster. Octane, you can have your opinion on X. Do I think X was ever the best corner in the league? No. But X took the ball away, gave us an opportunity lots of times. He created turnovers. Now, do I think he was a Darrelle Revis or a player like that? No, not at all. But I think X was a very good player for the Miami Dolphins. Greer always goes small, skinny. JD said, yeah, he's still there. See, he's still there. Still there. For what? Why are we keeping Eazy-E on the roster? For him to go out and have a good preseason game and then be injured? Like, come on. Why? What's the sense? CB83, what up? What up, my guy? You want to come on and talk some football there, boy? CB83 is my guy. He's been a great help as far as helping this program along and helping me with whatever questions I've had to get this podcast up and running, because I am not computer literate whatsoever. I had no idea what I was doing. I still don't. I'll be real. I still don't know what I'm doing half the time. Is he the one that had the one that had the one head catch in practice was the guy we got from Seattle. The guy that was on Seattle. I didn't hear what he said this morning, Cap. Cap, join the program. Tell us what he said. Eskridge, you're right, Elwood. Eskridge. Cam, come on the program. Yeah, I want CB83 to get a show with me. All right, Cap. Well, hurry up. Dang, bro, 20 minutes. Wonder if we'll get a YouTube upload of it. Listen, I don't know Omar or Reason personally. I just can't. I don't know, man. I can't go with the. I think they both got big egos. I definitely think that. I think they both got big egos, and you know, one of them wants to feel like. I mean, regardless of what Reason thinks he is in the community and this and that, and you got a bunch of subscribers and you've made relationships, you're never going to be more informed than Omar Kelly is. I appreciate that, CB. CB, the link is in there. You know what I mean? You're never going to be more informed than Omar Kelly is. Omar Kelly is real life with the team on a daily basis. So I don't know what the real argument is. Can Omar break down film? I mean, are you a coach? Are you teaching the game? I don't think most of us need to be taught the game of football. So what use is it? What use is that really? Oh, these guys don't know how to break down the game. So what? So what? I know he is. A, Cliff, He did that so many times on him and Doug's show. It was driving me nuts. From Canada, But I think it's a jealousy thing. I think Reason was upset that he wasn't invited to that Dolphins collective or Dolphins, whatever the show's called. You know what I mean? I think he was upset that he wasn't invited. And I think that Reason just learned how to break down film. If Fitz take 80 CB, I don't think that, great, you can break down film. Great, you can break down film, but what's the major purpose of it? Does it make you more informed? Sure. But you're not teaching the game to anybody. I don't think your subscribers are worried about you breaking down the film. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that I think you were upset and you attacked these people for no reason. From what I hear, Chris Perkins is the nicest of guys. So is he breaking down film or quarterback play? I mean, he said that they don't know how to break down film. That was his major attack on Chris Perkins and Alan Poupart and Omar, that they don't know how to break down film. Why look to Canada for Miami news? I don't look to Canada for Miami news. I'm not I don't really watch Reason's show, to be honest. He's not one of my favorite guys. But I don't think it's about that. I think it's a fan's perspective, right? I'm in New York. You know what I mean? I'm not going to have the breaking news. Obviously, there's guys that get paid big money that work firsthand with the team, that got connections, that are always going to have the news first. Am I going to break the news before Adam Schefter? No. So am I breaking any news? No, of course not. Of course not. What up, Costa Nostra? If you don't know how to break down film about players, you don't know what you're talking about. Daryl, I don't think that's necessarily true. I don't think that's absolutely true. So all the people in the world that can't break down film, can't tell you what's wrong with a football team, can't tell you the problems that a football team has. You know what I mean? I don't find that to be true. Now, are they maybe more informed about the game of football? Maybe. But I think the average fan could look at a play and look at it and see what went wrong. I think a team, you could look at the film and see where the play went wrong and what should have happened. I don't think it needs to be that in depth. You know what I mean? Drafts finale, and I want to give him his props. You know what I mean? He obviously puts time and effort into what he does. I just think he got a little upset about it. You know what I mean? Absolutely, JD. Absolutely. Back to the OTA talk. Tyreek Hill had an interview yesterday, and he was asked about him maybe not being the captain this year. What his reaction would be, if he's deserving of it. And he said, listen, no, I don't deserve it. And if I'm not voted team captain this year, like, I'm not going to trip on it. I'm not going to make a fuss. He's like, I'm out here to prove the player that I am. And, you know, hopefully my teammates see that I give just as much effort as any one of them. And I'm here for the team. And he's got hefty goals, and people want to punish him because he's saying 2,000 yards. Listen, all these players have individual goals. All of them, every one of them. If you got something to complain about what Tyreek said yesterday, you're just looking for something to complain about. You know what I mean? One thing that, you know, I'm questioning with Tyreek Hill is he said he's lost. Well, he said he was at 197 when he got here to Miami. He's at 183 right now. 183 right now. That's he looks smaller. He looks thinner. He looks trimmer. What does that do for Tyreek? What's that do for Tyreek? He has noticed he's noticeably lost muscle mass. Now, does that make Tyreek that more elusive? Is Tyreek faster? What's that do to Tyreek's game? How do you feel about the cornerback and safety boss? We'll get more into it. What's it do to his game? He said he was 183 in Kansas City. Yeah, Bonnie, that's what he said, but even in his video that he posted the other day talking about 2,000 that I showed, is it just me, or does he look considerably lighter? Does he look considerably lighter to you guys? I'm just worried that, you know, I hope it's making him faster. I hope he's just not losing power to lose power. You know what I mean? But Tyreek's saying all the right things, saying he's going to therapy, mentioned his divorce, said he's going to church. So hopefully, you know, he said good things about Tua. Bradley Chubb had good things to say about Tua, which is encouraging because everybody said, you know, Bradley Chubb is the one that really stood up and said something about Tyreek and what he did against the Jets, where he took himself out the game. And you know what I mean? Bradley Chubb was the voice of the team. He's the one that stood up and said something about Tyreek. But yesterday he was like, Tyreek's doing all the right things, saying all the right things. He's He practices just as hard, if not harder, than everybody else. The guy's doing the right things. So, I mean, he's doing all the right things. Glenn says, I hope he gets to 2,000 yards. That way, when we trade him next year, we can get a first. Well, I don't think we're going to be able to trade him. No one's going to trade for that contract, Glenn. No one's going to trade for that contract. We're going to have to release him, or we're going to have to bring him back at a cheaper contract. 183 now. What's this? Miller says 183 now, and he was getting pushed around by McDuffie and Snead all day at 200. Looks bad. Looks like he's going to get jammed on the line consistently. Miller, they're not going to be able to jam Tyreek at the line if we can get the running game going. They won't dare to. They won't dare to attempt to jam Tyreek or Waddle at the line if we can run the football. Because if we run the football, them safeties got to step up. And if them safeties step up and can't play too deep, if that corner misses on that jam, it's a touchdown. If that corner can't get their hands on Tyreek, it's a touchdown every time. So if we got the running game going and them safeties got to play up close, they can't play deep on every play like they were doing last year to us. We don't have to worry about the jam off the line. Corners won't be able to come up and jam us. They were only doing that because they didn't respect the run. They had help over the top. That's the only reason they were able to attempt to do that to us. Going to church, found Jesus, right? Ghost and Nostra. I think Tyreek is slimming to race Noah. Yeah, that Knowles. I don't think that race ever takes place. Let's be real. Tyreek says he's got a preliminary race in June, I want to say. Mike McDaniel was asked about it and was disgusted that he was even asked about it, acting like he didn't know nothing about it. Which come on, you know about the race. But I don't think the race ever happens. Come on. Which personally, if I was the coach, I would shut the race down. Yeah, Bonnie, I mean, that's what should happen. And I think ultimately it would happen. I don't think the Miami Dolphins allow him to race Noah. I just don't think they want to. I don't believe it's a real life thing. Noah's not risking racing Tyreek Hill because if he loses, he looks like a, what's that say about him if he loses? Do I think he'd lose to Tyreek Hill? No, I don't. I mean, the guy's considered the fastest guy in the world. He's an Olympian. Does he lose to Tyreek Hill? I don't think so. But I don't think that race ever takes place. And I think the Miami Dolphins are just not really bringing it up unless it starts gaining ground. You know what I mean? They don't want to piss off Tyreek for no reason. CB's 83 says that race is definitely happening. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. Trash, they will because they can rework the contract, give him more guarantees. Yeah, I mean, they'd have to rework the contract, obviously, Glenn. Nobody's paying Tyreek $45, $50 million a year at 32 years old. If he hits 2,000 yards, we will have some success and win some games. Absolutely. If Tyreek Hill gets 2,000 yards, that means this offense was pretty damn good. That means this offense was pretty damn good. I'll tell you what. Do I think he gets to 2,000? Probably not. Probably not. I mean, he had a good chance a couple years ago until he got hurt in that Tennessee game. Do I think he gets it? No. I mean, I think Jonu's still going to get targets. They started throwing the ball to H-Chan a lot more. You got Waddle. I don't think he gets the 2,000 yards. But more powerful to him. If that's what he's got to do to motivate himself, to get himself ready for the season, to try his hardest. If we get the best version of Tyreek Hill possible, I'm for whatever goal he has set for himself. Another promising thing, Bradley Chubb looked really good at practice. I want to say he had 2 sacks. Obviously, the guys don't have pads on, so take it for what you will. Chop Robinson, very impressive. Looked a lot bigger and stronger. So that's a bonus. Sealer not at OTAs. Is this because he is vastly underpaid? It might be. It might be. Or it's just not, I think it has something to do with that. I'm not going to lie. I think it has something to do with that. I think he'll be at mandatories. But he's not obligated to be there. It is strange that the rest of the team, for the most part, was there, and Zach Sealer's not, and he's a leader on this team. So I do think it has a little bit to do about the contract. I do. Tua played good, obviously. I mean, he's an accurate quarterback. He's not taking any hits. There's no pads on. Of course, he's going to perform well in situations like this. I mean, of course, Tua is going to perform well when they're in their underwear. You know what I mean? The guy's he's going to put the ball where he wants to put it. He's going to look phenomenal doing it. I mean, this is a perfect scenario for Tua. Tua's always going to look great in OTAs. Tua's always going to look great in practice because there's no hitting him. Give Sealer a raise, man, has earned more than and all others. I agree. He deserves a raise. Also, Jordan Brooks, really promising. He felt like he had a bad year last year, which he had a good year. He had a good year, in my opinion. But that is the mark of a leader. That is showing I have great aspirations for Jordan Brooks. I think he is a great young player for this Miami Dolphins team, and I'm excited to see what he does year 2 in Weaver's defense. Obviously the offensive line, you're not going to be able to tell anything about the offensive line. Daniels seems like he's behind Jackson in their recovery from their injuries. That's a little bit concerning. I'm hoping both those guys are ready week 1. I do not want to see Liam Eichenberg in the starting lineup whatsoever. So if Daniels ain't ready week 1, if Jackson ain't ready week 1, that makes me really nervous. Make sure you hit them like buttons. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you're over on X, come join the Fin Posse podcast. This will be the last episode that I stream on X. So if you enjoy the show, the only way you're going to be able to watch is come over to the Fin Posse podcast. We have 21 people in the building right now. Can we hit those like buttons? Do we got 21 likes? Because we got 21 in the building. And again, if you don't like the show, by all means, don't like the show. If you don't dig the content, if you don't dig me, you don't have to hit the like button. But if you like the show, please show your support. Please help us grow. I appreciate every single one of you. Please, please, please. How many likes we got right now, Miller? What up, Shake Money? Let's get to the defensive backs. Cater Kohu, I heard, covered Jalen Waddle pretty good a few times, had him blanketed. I think 18 on your count. Come on, we're lacking a few. Let's get them. We're at 20 people. Let's get those last 2, 3. I think they're going to find a way, Richard, to get Chubb, Phillips, and Robinson on the field at the same time. I really do. And it's not going to be every time, but I think they're going to. Thank you, E-Dub. I appreciate that, brother. Hopefully you stick with us. It's only going to go. We're only moving up from here. I'm new to this, so I'm only going to get better. I appreciate you joining the channel, brother. So, listen, I think Cater Kohu, if the plan is to move him to the boundary, I think with our front and the pressure we're going to be able to get on the quarterbacks, I think Cater can do an all right job. But then who do you put at the slot? I appreciate that, E-Dub. I really do. Thank you so much. Fins up, baby. I think Cater will be all right on the outside. But who is your other boundary corner? It's not gonna be Cam Smith. It's not gonna be Cam Smith. Storm Duck had the orange jersey yesterday. But I don't think Storm Duck's necessarily, he's not ready neither. Cater Kohu can't be your number 1 corner. Yet Cater Kohu is better than Storm Duck. So if Storm Duck is the other starter, we're in trouble. Listen, bottom line is we're in trouble if we don't make any moves. But I do not believe that Chris Grier and the Miami Dolphins go into next season with what we got. Moves are going to be made. Michael said Johnson. Yeah, Johnson had a pick day 1. Ain't good for him. But let's be real. These guys are depth pieces. Maybe Storm Duck can progress into a starter. But I don't think if you make him a starter now, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. We have off today. I think we have Friday, Saturday. I had said it. Let me see. Miami Dolphins OTA schedule. Miami Dolphins OTA schedule. So they got May 29th through the 30th, June 2nd and June 3rd, June 5th, and then we have minicamp June 10th through the 12th. And then they go on their hiatus until training camp. When I think of Kohu on the outside, I think of Stephon Diggs abusing him. I have that same nightmare, Richard. I swear to God I do. Diggs just tore him apart. Diggs absolutely abused him in that game in Buffalo. That's the same nightmare I have, brother. Miller says, I was gifted a membership to Reason's channel. I seen that, Miller. I did. And he's saying we've been privately inquiring about Jair Alexander. Now, do I believe that he knows that? No. I don't believe he knows that. I think lots of times these podcasters make educated guesses. They make educated guesses. He knows the Dolphins need a corner. He also knows the Green Bay Packers are trying to move off Jair Alexander. 1 + 1 = 2. 1 + 1 = 2. I would love for Jair Alexander to come be a Miami Dolphin. If he can remain healthy, I think he's an upgrade over Ramsey. As far as coverage. I like Jair Alexander better than Ramsey. If we can go get Jair Alexander, I think the Miami Dolphins should do it. And I feel a whole lot differently about this cornerback room. If you go trade for Jair Alexander and you're moving Cater to the other out boundary, go sign Mike Hilton from the Bengals. Mike Hilton's probably an upgrade at the slot, nickel corner pot spot over Cater. And then I'm feeling a whole lot different about the secondary. Give Johnson a chance. What do you got to lose? A lot of games. A lot of games. Cat for life. The athletic Matt Sherman reports the Packers have offered cornerback Jair Alexander a restructured deal. Oh. I hope not. I hope not, Cap. E-Dub, a lot of things are just common sense if you pay attention with these rumors. Absolutely. I can, you know what I mean? Oh, this team don't want this player no more. The Dolphins need this player. You link them and hopefully you're right. You know what I mean? Hopefully you're right. Bonnie says, speaking of Stephon Diggs, did you see the video with the pink powder? I did not. Yeah. Yeah. Hypothesis. That's my hypothesis. Reason is good at what he does and is a true Doll fan. Him busting South Florida sports, writers' balls, deserving the beat writers' takes most times are awful. Listen, just because you're a beat writer doesn't mean you got a good take. I just don't think I don't think you can be more informed than a speed. You can't be more informed about the team or have more inside knowledge of the team than a sports writer. Shake Money says, depending on the state you live in, 1 + 1 = 5. I guess that's true. What is this pink powder about? I gotta check. I had seen something about Carly B and then pink powder, and then I got busy doing something last night, and it slipped my mind. South Florida beat writers need to take their emotions out of the team coverage. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not saying that they're more of a fan than what Reason is, or you know what I mean? I just don't think you can have more knowledge about the movements of the team than the beat writers. It's called Sully. It's some hard stuff. Was he doing a drug? Listen, I think Diggs is kind of a basket case. I think along the lines of Antonio Brown a little bit. And I don't think he's as outlandish as Antonio Brown, but I think he has a lot of the same characteristics. I really do. Let's just say if I was the NFL, I'd be doing a random drug test. YouTube thumb 1B fuck raccoon reason. Football's almost here. Football is getting closer, folks. Football is getting closer. Yeah, it's a recreational thing. Florida's go crazy with the drugs. Hey, to each their own, but I do see a lot of the similarities in Stephon Diggs and Antonio Brown. I do. And like I said, is he as outlandish as Antonio Brown? No. Does it have something to do with CTE and brain injuries? And who knows? Who knows? But I do think there's something wrong in the head of Antonio Brown. And I'm starting to see more and more Stephon Diggs go in that same direction. And of course, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not fully equipped to speak on it, but you know what I mean? I'm just giving my personal point of view. Watch him show up at training camp on a hot air balloon. AB is crazy, Bonnie. Absolutely. Crazy, batshit crazy. Batshit crazy. Gonna lose on the field. What you got at quarterback, right? Well, there's still time. I believe we're gonna make a move. I think we need to make at least 2 moves. Petition needs e-signatures to get government to pass. Last thing I want to touch on from OTAs. We talked about Chop playing good. We talked about Chubb playing good, looking great. Jalen Phillips promising that he's back out, moving the way he's moving. Jalen Waddle dominating the defensive backs, whether that was a positive on Jalen's side or if it was a negative against the corners. Tyreek showing some humility, a slimmed down Tyreek, talking about 2,000 yards. Bradley Chubb is a true leader. Jordan Brooks, a great leader, young piece to this team. Zach Sealer now showing up to OTAs, contract related, maybe. Who knows? I will find out more in the coming days, I'm sure. Jalen Ramsey on his way out the door. I can't wait to never mention his name again. And that leads into my last topic here before we get done for the day. It's not really Jalen Ramsey. It's with Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel gave a press conference yesterday, and maybe it was just me. But do you feel like Mike McDaniel has like a new edge to him? Did you get that from the press conference? Like he's got this new edge about him. Like he's not trying to be, even with the media, Mr. Nice Guy necessarily. Mr. Always got a joke or always got something witty to say, no matter the question. I kind of feel like we got a different Mike McDaniel yesterday. I really do. Maybe I'm just tripping. But I feel like when he was asked about Jalen Ramsey and he wanted nothing to do with it. Nothing. I feel like he would have danced with it more. I feel like he would have kind of danced with it more in the past. He was like, nah, I'm talking about the players that are here. Like, not you know what I mean? I feel like he would have gave a big spiel in years prior. Like, you know, sometimes a team can't and a player don't necessarily see eye to eye. So then the team and the player just need to go in their own direction. But we can both prosper from new scenery. You know, would have just gave a big spiel. In my opinion, he would have gave a big spiel. And he was just like, no nonsense. Like, no, I don't want to talk about that dude. You know what I mean? The reason why he didn't touch it is Ramsey and him didn't get along. And that's why Ramsey wants out. And I agree that is the reason. You know what I mean? That is the reason he wants out. Did Ramsey telling him he's a dipshit, light a fire under McDaniel. Maybe. But even when he was asked about, I think it was Chris Perkins that asked him about the Tyreek race, he was like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he was kind of annoyed that you were asking him about some fucking race when we're talking football. Like, this is about football. You want to ask me about a race? And I think he kind of looked at Chris Perkins like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Again, I feel like we would have got a different response from Mike McDaniel in prior years. He kind of did you know what I mean? Like, what? You know what I mean? He kind of did a what? What are we talking about, bro? What are we talking about right now? And I just feel it, you know what I mean? Now, is it too little too late for Mike McDaniel to turn on this good guy, bad guy, you know what I mean? Just switch his whole demeanor? Not necessarily. You would think that, but at the same time, a lot of the guys that he did that with are out the door and new guys are coming in. I feel like the Miami Dolphins kind of got a youth movement going. D. Will says there's no more fun in games. People figured out his offense and he's on the hot seat. He's trying to hold on for dear life. I don't think it's so much that people figured out the offense. I don't think it was something that you overly had to figure out. I think if certain components of his offense aren't clicking, the offense ain't going to work. If you can't run the football, the offense ain't going to succeed. Let's all remember that Mike McDaniel was known as a running back guru, a running game guru. When the running game ain't working, the passing ain't going to work. We need to be able to run the ball for this offense to run properly. Daniel, Isaiah Johnson looked good so far. I mean, don't get too hyped over one interception. And I'm not trying to put them down, but you know what I mean? Ethan Bonner's looked great in training camp many years. We've seen how that's went. I think the Miami Dolphins, yours says 8. We only got 8 likes. I think the Miami Dolphins got a youth movement going right now. I mean, Akba's gone. All the guys that we had over 30 last year, Akba, Ramsey, Armstead, and you know, some of them are leaders. Armstead, Calais, what other players? Kendall Lamb. And we brought in a bunch of young guys. And hopefully we continue to build this team the correct way. And I think this draft was a positive step in the right direction. And if we can continue to build on that, we'll be good. We'll be good. If we continue to build this team like we did this year, I think we'll be good. Next year, we obviously need help in the secondary. But I would not ignore the offensive line, the defensive front. Continue to build, and then add depth. And then when a player's got to leave in free agency and we just cannot afford to bring them back, you got someone in the rear view that is ready to go. 22 likes. Let's keep it going. I appreciate it. Let's go. Costa Nostra, regardless if you think he's a run game specialist, That's what he's known for, right? That's what he's known for. That's what he's known for. But I think the Miami Dolphins can. I think Chris Greer or Mike McDaniel can turn it around. I think Mike McDaniel can change his coaching personality, especially with a bunch of young guys on this team, and without the big personalities pushing back. The Javon Hollands, the Jalen Ramseys. Obviously, this is probably Tyreek's last year here. You know what I mean? And then you got certain guys that are straight for Mike McDaniel. Tua is a Mike McDaniel guy. Tua's going to have Mike McDaniel's back because Mike McDaniel had. All right, CB. Oh. But I think Mike McDaniel, if he can get a successful year this year and survive, I think Mike McDaniel can change his coaching, the way he goes about coaching, not being so lenient and more of a disciplinarian. Welcome to the stage, CB80. What's up, brother?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
How's my audio doing?
You're all right. You're good.
Oh, okay. What's going on, bro? What's up with you?
What's up with you? I'll be, I'll be
Shit.
waiting, man.
Hey, so OTA started. Hey, the boys back in the building, huh?
Yeah, football getting closer.
Football is definitely getting closer, man. I mean, I heard some good things coming out of camp yesterday. I mean, things we want to hear. Guys working. Um, I feel like we heard all of the right things from like the press conferences. Um, as far as
Absolutely.
like Tyreek goes and Chubb and some of the leaders on the team. I really just think the Dolphins need to get back to like just focusing on football, man. I feel like there's so much outside shit. I'm glad Tyreek's kind of distancing himself from his ex-wife, and he can just focus on football. Because I just feel like there's so much shit going on outside of football, and I feel like them being together also being back in the building is going to help because it kind of it takes up a lot of their time, so they can focus on football.
Absolutely.
And you know, when you're tired and shit, and you've worked all day, and you've like got after it, and you're training, you don't have time to get into like the silly shit. Like you don't have time to want to go out and party and do all of that shit. You just want to go home and fucking relax and chill. And hopefully that's what they're doing after these practices because honestly, I mean they're probably exerting themselves a lot, and it's gonna be good to have them back in the building just around each other, building that chemistry, building that camaraderie, and then like focusing on the family stuff and not all the other shit that's going on. I feel like that's important.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. But man, I mean, I'm excited. I mean, a lot of people aren't excited about the Dolphins, right? They aren't excited about the team, but I think this is one of the seasons where people will be underwhelmed, and expectations will be low, and the Dolphins will finally, maybe exceed our expectations in terms of what they produce on the field. So maybe that's the case. I'm hoping that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we can just figure out, put a band-aid on this cornerback room, I feel real confident about this team. I think this team is definitely a playoff team if we can just put a band-aid on the corners. Because right now that cornerback room is looking sketchy.
Yeah, the
You
cornerback
you
room and can you hear me?
you have confidence in Storm Duck? I
You're breaking up on my end. Can you hear me?
think you're breaking up now.
Hold on a second. Let me take this off real quick. Can you hear me now? Let me do this. Yo, can you hear me now? You froze. You froze up on my end, bro.
Oh, you there? Hello? Maybe he was driving, hit a hot spot or something. Oh, there we go. He's back. He's back.
Yeah, I don't know. It was
Yep.
freezing up for some reason. But yeah, you said something about the cornerback room, right?
Yeah, the corner.
Yeah, I mean, I think if there's anywhere we're gonna need to address, it's gonna be that room. The Miami Dolphins don't need to be in a rush, though. I don't think we need to be in a rush to address it. I feel like if we get guys in the building, around July, and we get maybe two or three more guys, I think we'll be fine. I mean, you just need to get. I think you need to get you a maybe one for sure, and then maybe one slash two guy who's like a B guy. But I mean, Cam Smith's got to step up. Some of these guys got to like become players. Storm Duck. Like, I hope these guys get some opportunities to um, just develop and become players. Like, it's time for Cam Smith to figure shit out. Like, Chris Greer said it. Like, we can't hold your hand anymore, bro. You got to play.
Well, it wasn't a promising first day, that's for sure. I
I mean,
heard Jalen Waddle was eating their lunch yesterday.
players do get beat. I mean, players get beat every day in practice. You don't want to see him getting hurt, that's for sure. But I feel like I heard he was pressing himself to get back out there and get back on the field. So, he probably wasn't hurt. His feelings were probably hurt, and that's what I tell guys. You ain't hurt. Your feelings just got hurt because you got beat on a deep ball. Um,
Yeah, it was the
but
hammy. It wasn't me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what they say. That's what they all say, right?
Oh, I twisted my ankle on that one.
Yeah, yeah. So it was probably more of that than anything. But players get beat every day in practice. I don't look at a player getting beat for a deep ball and being like, "Oh, you're trash" or anything like that. It's gonna happen. It's just like, can you stack good days up and have good practices? Because
Mm.
you're definitely gonna get beat at some point. Wide receivers are gonna get stopped. Quarterbacks are gonna throw interceptions. But can you stack like really good days, get good reps, and like show that you're gonna become a player for us?
Yeah, I mean, if we could somehow get like a Jair Alexander or something like that, I think I feel a lot differently. If Jalen Ramsey wasn't pulling what he's pulling, like, how much differently do you feel about this football team? Like, I'd feel really confident. And someone in the chat had said, how are we a playoff team? We're going to have to score this amount of points. Listen, we scored almost 25 points a game last season when Tua was in the lineup. I think this offense can be considerably better than last year. I mean, you got
Yeah.
a Tyreek Hill that's going to be healthy, who's motivated. Uh, Nick Westbrook Akine, I think, is an upgrade at the third wide receiver with Malik Washington entering his second season. I think the running game can be better with Ali Gordon in the backfield as that power runner. And then, of course, the most important part of the puzzle is this offensive line, I think, is going to be improved.
Yeah, I think you made some really good points there. I mean, wide receiver group, I feel like You may have gotten a little bit better.
Mhm.
Running backs, I think you got, better than you were last year. You got younger. Um, Offensive line, I feel like you got better as a group. I mean, I don't see anything that really takes a step back. I think what really catapults us forward is Tua staying healthy. And I think that's a big, a major factor in the Miami Dolphins' success. So it's going to be on Tua and whether or not he could stay healthy for, 15 to 16 games throughout the season. I think that'll be the difference. Now there are going to be some growing pains with guys like Jonah and Patrick Paul because they are still
Mhm.
younger guys. But I think throughout the NFL season you can deal with that. I mean that's part of it, and they're going to take their lumps. But I mean you got a guy like Tua commanding the helm, and then you got Tyreek on the outside. You got some good running backs who've got some quality time in the NFL, so they can make up for some of that, where the younger guys miss. So I mean, that's all you got to hope for. I mean, I'm just hoping we stay fairly healthy. I know everybody's not going to be healthy, but if we can stay fairly healthy, I think the Miami Dolphins had a shot at being a solid football team, a contender in the AFC. And I don't necessarily mean contending for a Super Bowl, but um, you know, pushing for playoff play and playoff wins for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, it's the health. You had 2023 where we were on a promising trajectory that I thought could have ended in a Super Bowl appearance. I think we were really good in 23. Last year, last year was looked at as a complete disappointment. But if Tua doesn't get hurt, how differently does last year look? Because we would have definitely made the playoffs. You know what I mean? We would have made the playoffs if Tua didn't go down 6 games.
Yeah, for sure,
You
for
know what I
sure.
mean? So people wouldn't be necessarily on the hot seat. We'd just be like, oh, we can't win a playoff game, or oh, you know what I mean? They can't stay healthy in December. But we wouldn't be, oh, this team didn't make the playoffs. They need to rebuild. They need to throw everything away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, I'm with you, and I think that's where we've been the past few years. Is just health has killed us, and your quarterback not staying healthy is not going to help that situation. So we gotta find a way to stay healthier towards the end of the season, and we gotta be playing like really good football towards the end of the season. Um, and I mean, I think that's what hurt us last year too. Just down the stretch, not having to, not guys not being available. Um, you're not gonna win games like that, bro. You're just not in the NFL. Yeah, there's not many teams winning games with backup quarterbacks. It's just not normal. So we gotta do our best to stay healthy, keep guys on the field, and just be consistent. I think if they get into a rhythm where they win, 3 to 4 games in a row early on, I think that's a real confidence builder for the team. And sky's the limit at that point. If we can find a way to stay healthy, like I think this team's good enough to like contend in the AFC and be one of the top teams. It's just going to be a matter of, you know, them being consistent. The defense has got to be better. The offense has got to be better. Everybody has to elevate their play. And in the second, third, fourth year in the system, fifth year in the system, guys should be, you know, better, right? I mean, this
Mm,
is Mike McDaniel's. He's going on his third year,
fourth,
fourth
right?
year, right? So honestly, your system should be in place. People should understand it. There shouldn't be a lot of changes to it. Like he talks about Tua becoming like a mastery of the system, and that's what Tua needs to be. Like he needs to know this shit like the back of his hand, and he should be able to teach it to guys because that's the ultimate test of really knowing is being able to teach it. So if he could teach guys the offense and teach guys where they need to be and get guys lined up and be fast and be focused and be able to maneuver when people show you different looks, then we'll be fine. Like there's defense. I think defense is going to be solid enough for us to win games. We just offensively, we gotta thrive there. We got money, a lot of money spent on the offense.
Mhm.
Guys got to play up to what they're getting paid. They got to play up.
Miller's in the comments saying this team is going to suffer offensively. I don't see how you feel that way. Where did we where did we get worse offensively except left tackle? And obviously the left tackle position, Patrick Paul, I think is going to take a step forward from his play last year. He's a student of the game. He practices hard. He wants to learn. Teron Armstead's still in the building teaching. Is he going to be Teron Armstead next year? No, but this offense is still a quick passing offense. So I think that helps that helps Patrick Paul. But we definitely got better at the guard positions. 100%. You can't tell me we didn't. We're going to be able to run the ball more efficiently, which is going to open up the pass. I don't see how you feel we got worse offensively.
Man, I think you said it. I think the key is running the football. Like the Miami Dolphins,
Absolutely.
they have to find a way to be a good team on the ground. And there's one thing about there's one thing about like weather and opposing teams and like traveling on the road. It's hard to win on the road. It's hard to win in weather. But if you can run the ball well, then you got a shot. And that's
Yeah.
where the Miami Dolphins just didn't have a shot last year, is that we couldn't get 3 and 4 yards a pop. Like we couldn't stay ahead of the chains. It was always, oh, we're in 3rd and 8. We're in 3rd and 9, third and long. It's like, bro, we need to be 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5. We get into 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4, the whole entire playbook is open. You can run it, you can pass it, play action, you could do a lot, right? So you can't get into 3rd and 9 and think you're just gonna drop back and throw it every time, because that's what teams are gonna key on. And dudes are just pinning their ears back at that point and coming after Tua. And your offensive line isn't they aren't gonna be super experienced. So you need to try to stay ahead of the chains so guys aren't just teeing off on those younger guys.
Absolutely. And not just the not just that, staying ahead of the chains and being able to get a good chunk on first down and second down and not being at third and long and fourth and long. It's the aspect, if you're able to run the ball, them safeties got to creep up. And if them safeties if the corners don't have help deep, they can't come up and jam our wide receivers. Because if you jam the wide receivers and you don't got no deep help, you're asking for punishment.
Yeah.
Because Tyreek and Jalen Waddle are going to run past you, and there's going to be a lot of long touchdowns. I think that was
Yeah.
the problem last year, is that teams were able to stop the run without pulling them safeties up, without having the linebackers creep up to the line and try to stop the run. They were just able to stop it with their fronts, their defensive fronts, and that's what they could focus in on our passing game and jam our wide receivers off the line, which threw our timing off. And you got these safeties deep, so you can't throw the ball deep because them safeties are sitting on it. You know what I mean? So I think running the football opens up everything for this offense.
Yeah, I agree with you. And that's where I am with it. And honestly, I've always said running the ball is the key to the Miami Dolphins' success offensively. Like Tua's not a volume passer, so he's not a guy you can put 40 attempts on a game and think you're going to win the game. Like you have to keep him below 30, um, and you have to run the ball really efficiently. And if you do that, you have a really good chance of scoring 28 to 30, 35 points a game. But if you're going to rely on his arm and him making decisions and him throwing the ball constantly, you're going to put yourself into bad situations because he's going to make mistakes. And I think, that's where I am with it. And that's where I've always been, is that you keep him below 28, in that below 28 range, 28 attempts, between 25 and 28 a game, and you run the ball really well and average 3 to 4 yards a clip, bro, you're gonna have a really good shot at winning the game if your defense just doesn't blow their wad and can't get a stop. Like you'll have a shot. But that's you gotta do that though.
Miller says if we went out and somehow drafted Milrow, I'd say we at least have a mobile option. Heck, Snoop won us a game last year just off his own mobility. Give us a real mobile quarterback and watch this O line come alive. Watch this O come alive. I don't. Do you really, Miller? Do you really think that Milrow's a better quarterback than Tua Tagovailoa? Like, come on, bro. Is he? Is he more athletic? Absolutely, but come on. There's more.
Yeah,
This
I
is
don't I
the
don't think
quarterback
this.
position is primarily to throw the football, not run the football. And Milrow's not a good passer of the football.
Yeah, I don't think this offense is missing a running quarterback. I think it's missing a quarterback who's going to be there for the entirety of the season and that can play at a high level. And when Tua's in there, he shows us he can play at a high level. But it also like when he's out, it takes him a little bit to knock the rust off. And when he comes back, he's got to do that. So it's like, bro, we need you to be consistent and play the entire season because that means you're not knocking the rust off for 2 or 3 games every time you go out. So we need you consistently playing at a high level. And honestly, I understand Tua's gonna have maybe a couple bad games where he throws a couple interceptions and stuff like that. That's the nature of playing the position in the NFL. I don't think we could go down any quarterback and say any quarterback had 17 good games throughout the season where he didn't make mistakes and cost his team. But you have to be on the higher end of the majorities. You got to have a lot of games where you play well. You can have 2 or 3, maybe 2. I'd say 2 games where you have a bad game, but I think that's the nature of the position. But outside of that, you can't really. I don't want you having any more games than that where you're shitting the bed for us. And maybe in those games, the defense steps up and still gets you to win. Hopefully, the defense is good enough to make that happen this year.
Well, I think if, in my opinion, and like I said, I'm not a two and on or a two and ear or whatever people want to call it. I just try to call it the way I see it. Tua was never given a fair shake with a good running game. In 2023, we had a good running game. We had the number one offense in football. You build this team the correct way, a good offensive line, a good defensive line, like the Philadelphia Eagles. If you put Tua with the Philadelphia Eagles, I think Tua could win them a Super Bowl also. Yeah, you can give them all the fancy pieces you want, but if you don't have a running game and you can't protect your quarterback, you know, it doesn't matter how many superstars you give him on the outside. And I think Tua has shown that he can get the ball to his receivers. He's an accurate quarterback. Tua, for the most part, can make every throw on the field. And again, you don't have to take my word for it. Listen to Alan Poupart, listen to Omar Kelly, that sit there and watch him in practice make every single throw. And are there certain throws that he struggles with on a consistent basis? Sure. The out routes he struggles with to a point. But for the most part, he can make every throw. And he's a good quarterback. He's accurate. He puts the ball where it needs to be. And for us to say that we're going to bring in a quarterback because he runs better, but doesn't have near the arm or near the accuracy is just mind blowing to me. And I just don't think that. I think everybody wants to blame this team's faults on Tua Tagovailoa, and they don't want to. They don't want to open their eyes and see, hey,
Yeah,
listen, we suffered all these injuries, or hey, we don't have a running game, or hey, we don't have a good offensive line.
I think the casual NFL fan will look at the Miami Dolphins and say, "Hey, two is the problem." But I feel like if you're really objective and you really dig deep and understand the nuance of the game of football, you'll realize that, hey, Tua is part of the problem, but it's mainly him not being available. It's him not being there, right? Because when he's there, we always have a shot to win the game, and we're typically on the winning end of that. But when he's not there, it's nothing. Like we don't have a shot because of the backup quarterback play, and I put that on McDaniel and on the guys who are playing. But the casual NFL fan will be like, "Oh, Tua's just not good enough. He's not it." You know, I think, yeah. Look at anybody looking from the outside in who really doesn't understand the Miami Dolphins can put it on the quarterback, because you can put it on the quarterback by saying he hasn't been available for you, which is fair. But I think if you really look at the games he's played, you'd be like, yeah, he gives you guys the best shot, but he's got to be there. If he's not there, then you guys don't have a shot at all. So that's where I'm kind of at on it. But I just wanted to come through, bro, and get and holler at you for a little bit. I got to run. I got a 12 p.m. So we'll definitely link soon, man. We got to do something soon. Probably let's shoot for this weekend, man. Let's shoot for this weekend of linking up and getting on a live stream and doing something together.
All right, brother. Let me know.
All right, bro. We'll
I
chat
appreciate
soon.
you. Thank you so much.
All right, hey, hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the homie. Hey, he's working real hard to bring y'all content. He's killing it right now. He's growing. I see, the numbers are going up. Just keep grinding, bro. It's gonna happen.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
All right, bro. Later.
Peace. I'm gonna get out here in a second. Listen, Miller. Listen, I think the Philadelphia. You're talking about third downs and converting third downs and this and that. Yeah, maybe Tua can't do that on a consistent basis, but I think Tua's a better quarterback passing the ball than Jalen Hurts. So maybe they're not in a lot of those scenarios. Not to mention you got Saquon Barkley down there. You can talk about Jalen Hurts rushing touchdowns and the amount of rushing touchdowns he had, but half those touchdowns, more than half those touchdowns, Saquon could have got, and he stole them from Saquon. So again, you can have your opinion about Tua, and Tua is not a perfect quarterback, and I don't think Tua can be the quarterback of the future of the Miami Dolphins because he can't stay healthy. Bottom line. But as far as him being good enough to win games for this team, I think he is that. Richard says, chain smoking, Mr. Posse. Yeah, sometimes when I get to talking, I just be letting it burn, and so I do smoke too much, though. I apologize about that. We still need one more big running back in next year's draft, and number one wide receiver. I think we should go get Chubb. I think Chubb wouldn't cost us more than $3 million this year. Why not go get Chubb? Why not go bring in Chubb? I like Ollie Gordon. Madison, I don't even know if Madison makes the team, to be honest. Maybe he does. Maybe he does. But I'd like to bring in Chubb. I don't think he costs us more than $3 million a year. And I think he's that big physical back that's going to get us 1 or 2 yards. When he's in the game, you don't necessarily know that we're running the ball because he's a good receiver too. I like Chubb. Miller, we're going to have trouble competing against elite quarterbacks anyway. Look at these elite teams. I mean, the Miami Dolphins are going to have trouble competing with the Baltimore Ravens. We just don't have a Lamar Jackson on this team. Not to mention, those teams are built good too. Kansas City, how are we going to compete with Patrick Mahomes and the amount of talent that he has surrounding him? Josh Allen, the team isn't great, but Josh Allen is just phenomenal. Until you can find a quarterback that is that good, you're gonna struggle to a point. You know what I mean? But yeah, I would go grab Chubb and I'd bring him in. What do you have to lose? He's a guaranteed. I mean, not guaranteed, but if you're at 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, I feel really confident about handing the ball off the Chubb and getting a first down. I really do. Burrow is Tua. I will be at the game for sure. Man, those Cincinnati Bengals are tough. They're tough. They got a tough offense. CB83 cooking bad takes. Hey, leave CB alone. Leave CB alone. That's my boy. I think me and CB should be doing a weekly show, even if it's one day a week. How many people would be on board with that? Me and CB, a weekly show once a week. Good for you, Octane. Bought a 7-7 vet with the money I saved. Laugh out loud. Yeah, it's definitely a burden on my pocket. We got 166 people on X right now watching. This is the last day that we will be live on X. You're going to have to join the Finn Posse podcast to come check us out. Come check out the Finn Posse podcast on YouTube. Finn Posse podcast on YouTube. I appreciate that, Richard. I appreciate you all. Well, we're going to get out of here. We've ran for quite a bit today. I appreciate you. There's no OTAs today. They kick back off tomorrow. But what I take from day one and day two of OTAs is I think this team is looking up. Do we still have questions at corner? Yes. But I think this team has potential to be a very good team this year. They have potential to be a very good team this year. And I'm looking forward to the season. I'm looking forward to June 1st to see what kind of roster moves we make. I'm looking forward to getting Jalen Ramsey's crybaby ass up out of here. Good riddance to you, you piece of garbage. But yeah, I think this team, if we can stay healthy, if we can stay healthy for the most part, I think we're going to have a pretty decent team. I think we're going to have a team that can compete, and obviously Tua's going to have to take another step forward. Tua's going to have to beat some of the better teams. He's going to have to come up with a win against Washington or Cincinnati or the Bengals or Buffalo this year. He's going to have to win some of those games. He's got to prove to this fan base that he can win those games. And it takes more than just Tua. You know, Tua can have a phenomenal game, and if everybody else is laying an egg, we're going to struggle. But Tua's got to do his part, and I'm excited to see if he can take that step forward. I'm excited to see what happens in the rest of training camp. I'm excited to see what happens in the rest of OTAs. I'm excited for this upcoming season. And as a Dolphins fan, I think that's all you can ask for. So I love you all. I appreciate you all. We will see you again. What's today? Thursday? We'll see you tomorrow. And you know what it is. Let CB83 know that we should be doing our show together. We should be doing a show together once a week. But you know what it is. Fins up to the day we die, forever and ever and always. I love you all. Thank you so much. Hit that like button and subscribe. Until tomorrow, peace and fins up.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, your check is I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression, You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they see me. Better stand heart's already for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives, you create thoughts, never waste time. You got one shot, you got one life. Better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing